This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, a local no-kill animal shelter came into our studio before the Christmas holiday asking the community for help. We'll give you an update next. Happy New Week with the new year just around the corner. This is FYI and I'm Ken Kara. We start our news with some headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. An 83-year-old man was assaulted and robbed today in broad daylight in Hazleton. It happened around 11:47 this morning at 3rd and Vine Streets in the city. Police report that the victim and a witness said that two dark-skinned males were hiding in the bushes and two other dark-skinned males were standing on the sidewalk. As the victim walked by, police say all four males attacked him, punching him several times in the head and knocking him to the ground. The suspect stole cash from the victim and then fled. The victim suffered multiple injuries to his face and head and was bleeding heavily when police arrived. He was transported to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton by APTS. There's no word on his condition. Police detained two suspects. Anyone with information on the assault is asked to contact Hazleton Police. Meanwhile, Hazleton police were dispatched to West 4th Street just before 8 a.m. for a report of a female not breathing. Upon arrival, police found a 22-year-old white female deceased. No other details have been released. The investigation is continuing. And an investigation is also continuing into the death of a 1-year-old baby girl. According to Frackville State Police, the incident happened around 10 p.m. Saturday at 9 West Center Street in Ashland in Schuylkill County. Few details have been released. An autopsy was scheduled for today. Pennsylvania State Police Schuylkill Haven Criminal Investigation Unit, the Schuylkill County Detective's Office, Ashland Police, and Schuylkill County Children and Youth are assisting in the investigation. A Monoy area high school teacher is facing several charges, including DUI, following an incident at 8:20 p.m. on Christmas Eve. According to Monoy City Police, 35-year-old Bridget K. Polak of Monoy City allegedly struck a light pole that fell onto a residence and then fled the scene. Police, with the help of witnesses, found Polak behind the wheel with the engine running, pulled onto a sidewalk. Police say there was a strong odor of alcohol inside the vehicle and an open bottle of wine. According to arrest papers, police asked if she had consumed any alcoholic beverages or taken any medication. Police say that Polak replied, quote, "I'm drunk, I've been drinking all day," unquote. Police say she refused a drug test and allegedly struggled with police, who eventually used a stun gun on her. Hazleton police responded to an accident just before 5:30 this morning. It happened on North Wyoming Street near Broad Street. These are photos courtesy of the Hazleton Fire Department's Facebook page. According to police, a Chrysler 2000 minivan collided with the Hazel Drugs building. The driver, 36-year-old Eduardo Hernandez Cruz of East Broad Street in Hazleton, was taken to the hospital on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol. Police say that Cruz refused to take a blood test at the hospital. They also say the charges for driving under the influence of alcohol, as well as multiple traffic violations, will be filed. And in other news tonight, a very big thank you of generosity, because it was a very Merry Christmas for a Freeland family who lost their home in a terrible fire. As we reported, fire destroyed the home of Stephen Inman, Pamela Rumble, and their 5-year-old daughter, Paslin. The same fire claimed the life of their neighbor, 40-year-old Mark Cherisaro. But thanks to the kindness of total strangers, the family had a wonderful Christmas. Our very own Janine Mazurkevich helped to collect items for the family through her Making a Difference Foundation, and the family tells FYI that Paslin loved her presents and sent these photos showing the joy on her face. The Making a Difference Foundation would like to thank the local businesses and viewers who donated. Meanwhile, some good news from one animal shelter in our area. Representatives from the Ruth Steinert Memorial SPCA in Pine Grove, a no-kill shelter, were recently on our program with Hal, a little dog in need of a permanent home. And the shelter was in danger of closing since donations were down and expenses were increasing. Today, we received an update on their status. First of all, Hal has been adopted, and donations have been coming in to help the SPCA keep its doors open and make its future a little brighter, including a generous $1,000 donation that they received on Christmas Eve. If you would like to help, donations can be made to the Ruth Steinert Memorial SPCA P.O. Box 332, Schuylkill Haven, PA 17972, or you can call 570-345-3540. Well, later on FYI, we'll get your local sports week all planned out for you, so get ready. And Ron Marchetti is also here. And after this break, Lisa Sugart sits down with Schuylkill County District Attorney Christine Holman to talk about heroin in our area.
is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Well, do you have chicken arms or you have that fat on the back of your arms? Today we're talking about strength training for your upper body, right?
We are. And Janine, actually, my old swim coach, Judy Pavlik, always called those bingo arms. And so that's what we call them here.
Okay.
So we're going to teach everybody how to learn to progress into doing a pull-up. I think it's probably the most intimidating exercise in any gym. And we have a couple things here and a couple things that you can do at home to learn how to do them. So again, we have Kim, and she has two 10-pound weights. And what she's going to do is an overhead press, but she's going to focus on the down movement because the pull-up is actually coming from her back. So you're going to press up 1, and then you're slowly going to come down 3. So it's a 4-count move, 1 up and 3 down, and she's breathing through those exercises, and she's focusing, squeezing her shoulder blades down and in. Nice. Okay, and I don't want to get her too tired because we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, you can set those down. All right. The next fancy little device we have here.
Now this looks intimidating.
This actually isn't as intimidating as it looks.
Okay.
We got this. It's another assisted pull-up apparatus. It's got 3 surgical tubing, which we used during one of our segments. She's going to come up and she's going to cross. We have it linked to the cable crossover machine, and she's going to do the same thing.
Wow.
Nice.
Look at those arms.
And exhaling on the up, and do one more. Nice.
Good job.
And down. So I know that looks difficult. This is something that you could progress up towards. The next exercise.
I think I'd strangle myself on this. Let's stick to that other machine over
there.
there.
The next exercise actually is probably the easiest way to do it, and it's at the assisted pull-up machine. And since Janine put herself on the line last week, we're going to have her do it. Okay, so we're over here in the corner at the gym, and everybody's seen this machine when they walk in. It looks intimidating, but it's not, and it's an assisted pull-up machine. So
now, I specifically did not wear workout clothes because I thought I was getting out of working out.
You put yourself on the line last week.
I did last week, open my mouth.
Okay, so the knees are going to come up, and this pad is going to lower down. Now she's getting help from this machine to pull herself up, so she's going to do that same squeeze that Janine or that Kim was doing previously, and come down. And you're going to exhale on the exertion. So on the way up, you're going to exhale, and you're going to inhale down. Now Janine, next time you go up, I want you to go down slower. So pull up on 1. And this is where you're going to train the muscles to learn to do the pull-up. So resisting, resisting, resisting all the way down, and then one more time, exhale up. Good. Get that chin up there and slowly down. Good.
Oh, more than I thought I could do.
Now you can step off.
Okay.
So what's great about this machine is that it will help you no matter what size you are. You're going to be able to do a pull-up on this machine, and you can progress. So as you learn to do them, you start to go up in the stack. It'll get more difficult, and then in no time you'll be doing them on your own.
And I know we've talked about, weight training is for everyone. It's not going to bulk you up.
No.
Right?
No, we don't have the levels of testosterone that guys do, and the amount of weight that we're lifting just isn't going to get you there.
And you need it to firm up as you get older. You need to firm up your body.
And actually, the weightlifting is great for bone density, and women especially need to be concerned with that.
Awesome. We'll see you next week right here at Core Fitness.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
I hope everyone had a great green Christmas. The sun will be hanging out for the next few days, but it's going to get cold, very cold. This is our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Our low will be around 19 degrees on the extended forecast. Tuesday will be mostly cloudy through the mid-morning, and then it will clear up. Our high will be near 28. Tuesday night, increasing clouds, low of 17. Wednesday, it starts getting very chilly, mostly sunny with a high near 25, but wind chill values as low as 0. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 14. For Thursday, New Year's Day, we will have mostly sunny skies with a high near 29 at night, mostly clear with a low around 19. On Friday, partly sunny, we get up to freezing, and then Friday night, 30% chance of snow showers, cloudy with a low around 25 degrees. And tonight's weather, of course, brought to you by the Pines Eatery and Spirits. Check out their Facebook page for their weekly specials. They're located right here in downtown Hazleton at 8 West Broad Street.
It is a growing problem all across the nation. We're talking about heroin. And today we are pleased to be joined by the Schuylkill County District Attorney, Christine Holman, to tell us what the problem is in her county and how they are dealing with it. Thank you for joining us today. We're a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Lisa. I can give you some statistics which are rather startling and I find quite scary. Since January 1st, or I should say January 6th of 2014, until the end of July of this year, there were approximately 1,073 criminal complaints filed in Schuylkill County. 55 of those complaints involved heroin in some fashion. Schuylkill County has a population of 142,000, and if you do the math, we're looking at roughly 153 criminal complaints being filed monthly, and with the heroin at 55 in 7 months, that's what, about 8 cases of heroin monthly. That's a lot, I think, in Little Schuylkill County. My county, under the district attorney's direction, has a drug task force. Our drug task force consists of 2 full-timers, and we actively recruit all police officers and other law enforcement personnel to join in. What I have started, and it's a minimal operation, but I feel it's important for the public to be aware that heroin is a growing problem. I have developed a program called Block It Out, and what that means is we're going to attempt as a group in Schuylkill County to block out heroin 1 block at a time. I got the idea based on a street in Pottsville that had so many sightings and complaints of drug use. We surveyed it, we saturated it, we did come up with some drug use, but not enough. Nonetheless, we do have, I have a placard that I had asked individuals on this particular street to place in their window. It's not a pretty picture, but then heroin isn't pretty. It's a picture of a man with a baby stroller. There's a heroin needle and a spoon. And most importantly is the Schuylkill County Drug Task Force hotline, 1-800-414-1406. And I will say that all of Schuylkill County's law enforcement is well aware of the growing problem and are out on the streets doing saturation patrols, working hand in hand with each other, trying to curb this problem. Pennsylvania has the 3rd highest rate of heroin abuse in the country. Again, startling. Another problem, prescription drug abuse. Its constant companion is heroin. So our own medicine cabinets can actually be a start to someone's addiction to heroin.
The reason you're seeing this rise, then, is it the ease of getting it, or what do you attribute it to that we're seeing so many cases of this?
Lisa, there's been a study done in Pennsylvania. It was a study by Senator Gene Yaw. He impaneled many law enforcement and different personnel in the medical field. And what some of the results were, and what I found just, again, disheartening, heroin is actually cheaper to buy than cigarettes, and it's cheaper than beer. You can buy a bag of heroin for $5. That bag of heroin, from what I'm told, you can use it all at once, or you can get a couple of highs from that bag, but the problem then obviously is you need more. And what results from that is people don't have the money to purchase the heroin, even though it's cheap. We have found in Schuylkill County that our retail theft crime is spiking. And burglary is spiking. Individuals are busting into people's homes, stealing what they've worked hard for so that they have money to purchase heroin, get these needles, and inject it into their system to get this high, and it's a continual cycle.
Wow, that's amazing. It's sad to say that it's going on so greatly in Pennsylvania. And again, you have this number out for the hotline. You're encouraging people to cooperate so that you can get tips so that you can crack down on this even better. Again, the hotline number is 1-800-414-1406. D.A. Holman, thank you so much for being with us, and I hope that you'll come back and keep us posted on, I'm sure you will be making a dent in this serious problem in Schuylkill County.
Thank you, Lisa. I will be back.
That's part one of Lisa Sugart's series on the problem of heroin in our area. It will be a three-part series. You can watch part two Tuesday on FYI, and that will feature Luzerne County DA Stephanie Salavantis. Before we break, here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. The Daily 642, the Big Four 8462, Quinto 74927, and Treasure Hunt 19, 13, 27, and 28. Sports is next. Stay with us.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Here's a late Christmas gift from me. Okay, it's not really from me, but from a bunch of hard-working athletic directors, and it's the gift of local sports. Let's take a look at some of the holiday tournaments our local teams will be taking part in this week. Let's start right down the road from our studio at the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium at the Hazleton Area High School. The Cougar Holiday Classic tips off at 6 p.m. on Monday night with Stroudsburg taking on Shipley. The second game of the doubleheader will feature the home team, the Big HA, against Hapera Horsham. Highlights tomorrow on FYI of that game. The third place game will happen on Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. and the championship will follow that game. The Senator Rhodes Tournament at Monoy area will feature Tamaqua girls, Shenandoah girls, and of course the Monoy area girls. Tamaqua lost to Monoy and Shenandoah, so they are looking for some revenge in this tournament that also begins on Monday. So does the tournament in State College. Their holiday tournament begins Monday. That features the North Schuylkill Lady Spartans. They're in Happy Valley for this one. The Hazleton area girls basketball team, they start play in the Truant's Holiday Classic in Punxsutawney on Monday. Groundhog Day, great movie. Punxsutawney area is the host, and the other team in the tournament is Pencambria High School. On Tuesday, the Riverside Holiday Tournament begins, and the MMI boys will be trying to take that trophy. The Cougar wrestling team will be a part of the Bethlehem Holiday Wrestling Classic that runs Monday and Tuesday. They'll also be in a tournament over the weekend. The Monoy area wrestling team starts their week in Tunkhannock at the Tigers Tournament. This weekend, the Hazleton area swim team, they will travel to Scranton prep for the Classic Gold Relays. The Tamaqua and Monoy area swim teams, they're in Pottsville on Saturday for the Schuylkill Spirit Meet. Tamaqua, North Schuylkill, and Monoy area will also be part of wrestling tournaments on Saturday. And congratulations to North Schuylkill's John Rapinski on being named the Anthracite Football League's Offensive Player of the Year, and his head coach, Wally Hall. Congratulations to him as well on being named the AFL Coach of the Year. Finally, the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend, but they're still in first place ahead of the 2 other Keystone State teams in the AHL's Eastern Conference East Division. Ron Marchetti talks about one of his sports heroes next in Trivia Treats.
One of my all-time heroes would have been 90 today, Glenn Davis, 1946 Heisman Trophy winner and runner-up in 1944 and 1945, in the top 2 3 years in a row. No player has ever done that before or since. Hi, everybody, on this December 29th. This is Trivia Treats. Davis, Mr. Outside, was born 13 days after Mr. Inside, Doc Blanchard, in 1924. 60 years ago, on the day after Christmas in 1954, the Browns trounced the favorite Detroit Lions 56-10 in the NFC Championship game at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. It was the Browns' 5th consecutive appearance in the NFL title game and 9th overall, including 4 straight championships in the All-American Football Conference 1946 through 1949. The Lions had a horrible day while turning the ball over 9 times, 3 fumbles, and quarterback Bobby Lane's 6 interceptions. Cleveland quarterback Otto Graham, who announced his retirement prior to the game, threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for 3. Graham then had a change of heart and led the Browns to the 1955 NFL Championship before truly retiring. Then the following year, in 1956, the New York Giants pummeled the Chicago Bears 47-7 in the NFL Championship game 58 years ago tomorrow on an icy field at Yankee Stadium, which served as the home field of the Giants from 1951 through 1972. Halfback Frank Gifford was the key to the offense in that one. The Giants would reach the NFL championship game in 5 of the next 7 seasons, but would lose all 5. Every one. Mother of God. Finally, 40 years ago, on New Year's Eve, in 1974, the Yankees signed free agent Jim Catfish Hunter to a contract calling for him to receive $3.75 million over 5 years. He previously made $100,000 in 1974 playing for the Oakland A's over those 4 seasons. While pitching for the Athletics, he posted records of 21-11, 21-7, 21-5, and 25-12 with a postseason record of 7-2, which helped the A's win the World Series in 1972, 1973, and 1974. This is the final Trivia Treat segment this year, and on Friday we will have our first Short Shots of 2015. Hope to see you then. If not, wishes for a happy and healthy new year. Stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. One announcement for this evening. Hickory Run State Park will be holding a first-day hike Thursday, January 1st. Join conservation volunteer John Jacoby for a 3-mile hike as they explore the edge of the Lehigh Gorge. Participants should dress for the weather, wear sturdy shoes, and bring water and snacks. To register for this free program, just call 570-474-5884. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Sandra E. Allen of Waynesboro. Arrangements will be announced by the Harmon Funeral Home. Betty L. Unger of Cunningham. Funeral services will be held privately and at the convenience of the family. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. The Reverend Ronald F. Fink of Sand Springs. Funeral is Thursday at 11 a.m. in the Faith Lutheran Church in Easton. Friends may call Thursday after the service. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. June Rideboom of Hazleton. Funeral is Wednesday at 11 a.m. from the Rosenstock Funeral Home. Friends may call Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Flora Ann Starenchak, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 1:30 p.m. from the Stanley E. Anilowski Funeral Home. No public viewing hours are scheduled. Pearl Sheeler of Mahanoy City. Mass is Saturday at 10:30 a.m. in the St. Mary's Byzantine Church. Friends may call Saturday beginning at 9 a.m. in the church. The Louis D. Truskowski Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. And Audrey Zanolini of Hazleton. Memorial is Tuesday at 11 a.m. at the St. Peter's Episcopal Church. Friends may call beginning at 10 a.m. The Furo Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements.
For breaking news, features, and more, go to standardspeaker.com. You can also check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/FYI News 13. More news tomorrow on New Year's Eve. We'll see you then. Take it easy, everyone.